Apparently I forgot to turn on auto start. This was supposed to start at the DOS prompt. Regardless, hello everyone, this is Araphone and I will be playing Commander Keen. Invasion of the Vorticons, Episode 1, Marooned on Mars to start with, but the plan is to go through the whole DOS series. So the original trilogy, Keen Dreams in the middle, the weird one, and then the next three games, which were originally supposed to be a trilogy, but then the 4 and 5 were one thing and 6 was another thing, and yeah, kind of weird. I also have over on the side here the standard galactic alphabet key, so I'll be attempting to translate the various signs and things we see along the way. Most of them are not terribly meaningful, but they are there. So yeah, this is the first game in the series. At this point, there was no music. The sound effects were only PC speaker. I'm pretty sure there wasn't even Sound Blaster ad-lib support. Yeah, I don't see options. Story, pretty simple. Sounds like something out of a Saturday morning cartoon, as I said before when I briefly demoed the game, probably a few years ago at this point. Yeah, 8-year-old genius creates an interstellar starship out of old soup cans, rubber cement, and plastic tubing. While his folks are out on the town, the babysitter's fallen asleep, goes into his backyard workshop, puts on his brother's football helmet, and transforms into Commander Keen, Defender of Earth, in the Bean-with-Bacon Megarocket. Marooned on Mars, aliens from the planet Vorticon. Vorticon 6 find out after the 8-year-old genius plan his destruction. He's out exploring the mountains on Mars. They steal key parts from his ship. They're scattered all across Mars, and now he needs to go recover them so he can repel the Vorticon invasion, but more urgently, make it back home before his parents. So we got the joystick from Brothers Video Games for manual flight control, the car battery from your mom's car for power, the vacuum cleaner from the kitchen, heavily modified as the propulsion unit with carpet height adjustment, and Everclear from the liquor can as fuel. The Vorticons have taken them all across Mars and are guarding them. Yeah, when the Viking lander settled to the surface on Mars, it caused a major political upheaval. Viking actually landed on the despotic Martian king. The Yorps, the extremely friendly one-eyed Martians, were freed from enslavement, and the Gargs, the vicious, aggressive Martians, were angry. Martians created robots for menial work and guard duties. Tank-like guard robots are very good at what they do. They've been visiting Earth in UFOs for decades because they want our toys. Hula hoops, skateboards are holy objects to them. You may find some toys useful. There are signs everywhere, you haven't been able to decipher them yet. Yeah, it's a basic substitution cipher, basically. Except that instead of using different letters, they use these arbitrary symbols that, I mean, some of them kind of look like letters, like the A looks A-ish, the E sort of looks like an E, I and J sort of look like I and J, X, you could kind of see an X in that, T looks like part of a T. It's enough like English that you can kind of get a feel for it and sort of figure out what's in the signs if you're fairly familiar with it, but different enough that it looks very alien and you're not going to be able to figure out on your own, probably. Anyway, Keen's assembled a ship. Episode 2, the Earth explodes, way up next, where Keen goes to stop the Vorticon mothership that's trying to destroy Earth. And Episode 3, Keen must die. He goes to the Vorticon home planet to deal with them, and yeah. You won't believe what happens in Episode 3. Start a new game. We have some sound effects. They're a little low. I could probably turn that up safely. I forget how to do that offhand, though. It's a DOSBox setting. Anyway, I think it's possible... Yeah, joystick. So I should be able to set up the gamepad. Yeah. Arrows to move, control to jump, alt to pogo if you have pogo. Spoiler. Control and alt to fire the ray gun if it has charges. F4 joystick mode. Yeah, you may be blocked by things. You enter a city. You can get things by running into them. You can get key cards to go through doors. Here's our point items. We have lollipop, soda, pizza, books, and teddy bears. Mostly junk food. Then we have books and then a teddy bear. Commander Keen says, get to episode 2 before the earth explodes. Okay, so F5. I'll put this in analog mode. Upper left, press button 1. Lower right, press button 1. Yep. Gamepad is working now. Okay, so space does not appear to have a gamepad equivalent. That's your score thing. Just save to slot 1 so that it's there. Your ship is still missing these parts, so you can't actually enter the ship, but you can see what you still need to find. Yeah, sound effects pretty primitive. Yeah, I'm going to have to turn up the DOSBox volume for next time. There's a Yorp. They are friendly, but kind of careless. They will shove you around, they can push you into obstacles, they can push you off cliffs. If you hop on them, they'll be stunned for a little while. I don't currently have any ray gun charges, so I couldn't shoot them even if I wanted to, and that wouldn't be very nice anyway. Up there we have ID, because ID software. This is one of their early games before they went on to produce... I think it was ID that was Doom and Quake, and Apogee was Duke 3D. You have a lot of control over your dump light if you just tap the button. You barely get your heels off the ground. If you hold it down, you can go about 3.5 tiles high. So here's our first ray gun. That gives us 5 shots. There's also a sign here that's a THISISNEAT. This is neat. And the thing at the end is basically a period. Okay, we have a DIE here, so that is saying the Bart the. Or maybe it's a little more hostile than that, but yeah, you can see they will shove you around. If you're not careful, they will shove you into things like those munchers. Yeah, early games don't have that much detail on them. You can see there is a background, but it's not much there at all. There's mostly just gray with... There's some mountains in the background. Air control is a little weird. You do have some momentum to you. Okay, so that's just lollipops up there. But yeah, you do have air control. You can change direction in midair. You can definitely slow down and stop yourself, as long as you have enough room. Okay, these I think I can jump over without too much trouble. There's a book. That's a bunch of points. Be careful not to hit your head on the blocks. And over there is the exit. Yeah, that's an EXIT. You can almost read it already. Like I said, a lot of the letters are similar to English, or the Roman alphabet, really. It reminds me a lot of... what am I thinking? I think Abed in Final Fantasy X was just used different Roman letters, so that's not a good example, but there was something else that did something like this. Here's our pogo stick. Okay, button 2 is what I thought it was. If you press button 2, you will now activate the pogo stick. It makes it harder to start and speed up and slow down. And of course you're bouncing constantly, but yeah, without the pogo stick, you can jump about 3 tiles high. With the pogo stick, you can do about 3 tiles with a small jump, but if you're holding the jump button, you can go about 6. And this is what they call the impossible pogo trick. It's basically... Yeah. Also, there's invisible blocks here. You can see the top left corner of them only, but... Impossible pogo trick is basically you activate the pogo stick, let go of the pogo button so that you don't fire your ray gun, and hold the jump button before you lift off the ground. That will give you the full height bounce on your first bounce with a lot more control because you're going from standard controls into pogo. Anyway, right below us, we have a sign that says BEHOLD, behold, the Holy Pogo Stick. Yeah, we come up here, we have deadly obstacles. Yeah, Keen is one of your one-shot wonder characters, so one hit from anything that hurts you will kill you. There is no such thing as health, there is no such thing as non-fatal damage. I think I can... No. Yeah, that's a Garg. They are not friendly. So, but you can shoot them in the eye stalks as well as in the body. That will take them out. Don't know if they're stunned or dead, but in any case, they don't recover as long as you're in the level. Here's a teddy bear. That's a lot of points. So we're almost halfway to an extra life already. And with the pogo stick, we have our full array of movement options already. It's kind of an early installment weirdness, actually, because the later Keen games, you just start with a pogo stick. Oh, wait, that's the wrong thing. It's F5 to save. Okay, let's see what's in this other side hut. Yeah, although the background in these is still very simple, it's at least more interesting because you have the... Well, it's not really light sourcing because that's just part of the background, but yes, it is too bad that you cannot read the standard galactic alphabet, which was that whole... It's what's on all the signs. Okay, so this is here, it's not in the way. This is here, this is also not in the way. We have another hut over here, and we have this, which is in the way. Let's start with the little mini levels. Yeah, we have fire here again. Fire, of course, will kill you. You can use the pogo skip to skip past this. The teleporter and the ice will send you to the dark side of Mars. Not a particularly meaningful hint, but a hint nonetheless. Yeah, so one or both of those is likely to have ship parts. It's been a while since I played this. There's another die sign. Wait for the Yorps to fall into the tentacle slime stuff. Yeah, that's a nice sound effect when you bounce on them. Less of a nice sound effect is this. It's probably my least favorite sound effect in the game, the falling off of something. There's a bunch of lollipops there. Not sure how worth it is with the munchers below them. But I'll grab them anyway. Yeah, watch your momentum. This also says die, but those are easy enough to jump over. Yeah, so we saw a locked door down there. There will be a key card somewhere in this level. And I think I remember this being where the first ship part is. Okay, we're at 13,600. There's another Yorp. Kind of in the way. Yeah, those you can jump up through. These you can also jump up through. You got Well, you can't see the whole name, but it's kind of obvious what kind of Pepsi... I said the word. It's kind of obvious what kind of soda they are. There's one of those robots they mentioned. That's not a combat robot, that's a shove-you-around robot. It's a lot like the Yorps, except they don't stop. They just keep going back and forth. And yeah, I think one of the first Vorticon was over here. Yep. But yeah, like anything else, touching a Vorticon will kill you. Well, anything else that's aggressive. Yeah, and you do need the red key card. That's a B on it, so... probably just A, B, C, D. Oh, that was the one-up noise. There's a book, so that should be safe. There's a teddy bear, so that's a ton of points if I can get to it. Okay, this is an easy ray gun to get. Alright, the teddy bear is guarded by a Garg. Okay, I do have the yellow key card now, so I can get in here. You can just ignore the Garg. As I recall, they can jump, but only when there's a clear space in front of them. So if they were, like, on here, they would be able to get to the end and then jump off of that. But they can't jump up if there's an obstacle in front of them. Oh, there's a teddy bear, though. I'm not quite sure how you'd get to it. I think it would take a tricky pogo jump from... well, maybe not. Maybe it's just from here. That's not quite high enough. And the impossible pogo trick does not give you extra height, so... I think maybe if I can... maybe something like that, but it didn't work. Yeah, I'm not going to waste time trying that again. It's probably possible to get to, just not easy. But it would have to be something like that. The exit was in the top right, behind... I think that was the battery we saw. Yeah, there you need the pogo stick to get up. Yeah, that's the battery. I don't see the Vorticon, though. That's kind of worrisome. I may have escaped to the rest of the level. We have 8 shots. So yeah, same thing as we did in the hut. Zot. And that's an easy 5,000 points. We're about 10,000 away from another life. Yeah, I think it's possible to do that jump, but... let's try it here. Yeah, let's not then. Let's do this the intended way. So yeah, here I think you're supposed to just jump past the Vorticon. You can shoot them, I think, but it takes a lot of shots. got the battery. Now I just need to get to the exit. And the Vorticon has escaped. And is dancing around up there, so let's just go. Yeah, they apparently move faster when you're on a level with them. Okay, so that is our first ship part. If we come back to the ship now, it will say, those parts are missing, the other one is not. Let's do a save to slot 2. And check this level. Yeah, it may not be possible to get all of these lollipops. I think I've tried before and couldn't quite get all of them. That's all but 2. And I think they were 100 points each, so not that big a deal. Okay, so we need keycard A, which is yellow. It's kind of nice that they have colors and symbols. I don't think they were going for the, like, colorblind helper thing. Colorblind accessibility, that's what I'm going for. But this is early enough that they may have been considering that, well, it's possible you're on a black and white monitor. So they have not just colors, but also symbols, which is always a good thing. Like any other accessibility thing, even if you don't need it, it's not like it hurts you to have it there. This is neat. Those lollipops are not worth the trouble. This is, in all likelihood, required, so just get that. Here's some basically free pizza. And yeah, there's the second Vorticon and the joystick. Can he fall off the level? Yes. Okay, so that's how you get past that one without shotting it. Kind of silly. Yeah, we can see there's a big mountain range to the east. The rest of the game is on the other side of that through a teleporter. As I recall, there is a cheat key you can use to get no clipping on the world map. But let's do this legit. There's a... Okay, that's an H and an I in standard galactic alphabet, so hi. The level is saying hello. That's not what I meant to do. But there's our ray gun. Yeah, pretty sure the green tentacle things on the ceiling will kill you. Like just about everything else except Yorps. They're friendly, if overly enthusiastic. Whereas most of these things are not. Okay, there's a teddy bear. Yeah, you're not quite bouncing high enough to get to that. Okay, here's the exit. So I'm missing a lot of this level. Basically free teddy bear. That could have gone badly. Yeah, let's go around the level some more. That is a more dangerous teddy bear to get. And so is that one. That could have gone badly. Wine drops are never safe. I could just pogo to that. Alright, there's sometimes a Garg in that tunnel, I think. Or maybe I'm thinking of a different level. But either way, don't trust tunnels that you can't see the inside of. Alright, heard a laser gun. Yeah, there's one of the guard bots. I don't think you can shoot those. And you can shoot them, but I don't think it does anything. Yeah, that Garg is kind of pointless. Okay, is there even anything down there? Doesn't look like it. Those are awfully dangerous lollipops to get. There's a Garg hanging out in the fire. Of course your enemies are immune to the stuff that kills you. Because isn't that always the way? And occasionally you'll have a game where that's an exception, and you can lure your enemies into the same things that would kill you. Like, for instance, in Rain World, which I'm playing on my pre-recorded games and posting Mondays and Thursdays. There are all sorts of predators out there, and although pretty much everything wants to eat you, a lot of them are also quite content to eat each other. There's another teddy bear down there. So, yeah, it feels like there's a lot of options for extra points there, but most of them not required. Well, optional points, never required. So there's a bunch of stuff there. This, I feel like, was basically the final boss level. I mean, there isn't really such a thing. Okay, ray gun. And, yeah, fake 4 here. The icicles will, of course, kill you. Everything is unfriendly. There's a killer robot. Fake 4 there. Oh yeah, if you look closely, you can kind of see there's a weird shading on them when they're not solid. Yeah, as I recall, the way ice works in this game is you just keep sliding and sliding and sliding as long as you're in contact with it. Yep. Yeah, you can't turn around manually, but you can jump, and if you turn around in the air, which can be easier said than done. But if you turn around in the air, you will turn around on the ice. And yeah, there's the fake board just before the keycard. There's a Garg that wants all the pizza. How many shots do we have? 22? Yeah, might as well go after it. I mean, I don't think it's fake 4. I was going to say, I don't think it's worth it for the soda cans. Oh yeah, you can see... Okay, but they're one way down. Yeah, you need the green key card for this, which is a C. And at least those Pepsi don't have any fake 4s over them. I bet you count where the book is. Yeah, that's weird. They're solid from the bottom, but not the top. Yeah, if the Gargs see you, they will charge at you. Yeah, I want the teddy bear. With the Gargs out of the way, it's not that dangerous, it's just... you need to jump at the right spot. A little early, and then a little late. There we go. Alright, this time be a little more alert for a fake box. Yeah, in little 2-tile spots like this, it's kind of hit or miss whether you can land on a Yorp. Yeah, I think it can kind of sense me. Actually, how much was pizza worth? 500? Okay, so that's like 3,000 points there. I think that's worth 1 ray gun shot. So here. Be careful of that spot. Right, there's one of the pushing bots. Like I said, they're basically mechanical Yorps, functionally speaking. I don't think the tank bots will hurt you directly. But their shots absolutely do. Okay, I probably need the yellow key card, don't I? It's not like I can go back for it now. No, I guess I don't. Why is it even there, then? You cannot kill the Vorticon commander directly. And I cannot clear this on my gamepad. That's kind of odd. Why don't they allow action or jump button to do that? Don't know. Okay, this, I think, was a fully optional level, but it connects the secret level. I've got 4 little huts. This, I think, was the other ship piece. So it's, save to slot 4. Do these and I guess stop for the day. Leave some for next time. And here we have pushing bots and pushing aliens. Together at last. Okay, and there's nothing up here except points. Points are fine, but I was kind of expecting a key card or something like that. Okay, I take it back. Falling off is not the most annoying noise that is. Could probably get that pipe without shooting that, but it's a lot easier to just pull out the ray gun and take it down. There's a Yorp in the fire. They're also immune to it. Yeah, general rule of most platformers. Okay, yeah, here's our hint about mostly invisible blocks. But yeah, that's a general rule for most platformers. Usually, threats are not a threat to anything except you. Okay, this has some atmosphere to it. Yeah, the graphics are very simple. But just the way they put some variety into this gives it more character than some of the other areas we've seen. And, okay. Keycard was on the left side against the wall, but you could bounce up to it even if you missed it, so not a big deal here. There are places in some games where they would have forced you to redo that until you fell in the right spot. Okay, that worked. Spend a ray gun to get some extra points. And another telepathic message up here. There is a hidden city. Look in the dark area of the city to the south. And yet it has to be enter that you press spacebar doesn't work, other keys don't work. Yeah, here. This is where the access to the secret level is. I'll do all the other mini levels, and then probably that's it for now. Finish up the game next week. There's a book. And a teddy bear. And yeah, if you fall down here, then you have to redo this whole part. I did not do that on purpose, but it demonstrates it nicely. Okay, you can't do that jump. Good to know. It's just the same jump as that, but I'm having more trouble with it for some reason. Yeah, and if you hold down the jump button, you'll re-jump as soon as you hit the ground. Yeah, I'm jumping too early there. Okay, this time, or not. Yeah, this is taking more effort than it should. There we go. Okay, and there's an invisible block just below this platform to make that jump a little easier. Oh, right. I remember this being in one of these. There's a Garg statue that just says Garg. It's not even a hint. Okay, one more mini level. And we're in the ice area, so of course it's icy. Yeah, that's fairly easy to turn around on because there's plenty of room. Alright, this kind of ice block is a bit slippery, but you can stop and turn around and all that good stuff without too much trouble. Should I just shoot the other one to get it out of the way? And I was trying to just not fall down there at all. Actually, can I... Let's not try it with the killer robot. Wait, did I just coyote jump? Come back this way so I can see what's below me. See the hint of the box down there. There's a 1-up from the book. Yep, reading is good for you. Got some neat crisscrossing light beams. You will need a ray gun in the end, but not to shoot the Vorticon. Actually, I'm not sure you even do really need the ray gun. So, we have 4 levels left now. There's that one, which has one of the ship parts. There's this one, which is big and sprawling and has the entrance to the secret level. So that's 3. And then we have this one, which is conceptually the final level and the closest thing the game has to an end boss. So... yeah, I think next time we'll start with this and go on from there, because yeah, this is right outside the teleporter. It looks like you were kind of meant to come here right away. Yeah, I'll save to slot 4. Make a note that I am saved to slot 4. But yeah, for now, this has been Arafel playing Commander Keen Episode 1, Marooned on Mars, part of the first trilogy, Invasion of the Vorticons, where there are only 4 Vorticons in this entire game, but don't worry, we'll be seeing a lot more of them in the other 2, especially on the Vorticon homeworld. In the meantime, until next week, if you want to check out the archives, I've just come off pretty recently playing through the whole post game of Japanese game called Magical Bringer Corona the Movie, if you translate it. And the recent playthrough has been of the bonus game past the end of that, where it's basically a first-person JRPG, and there's quite a lot of it. Other than that, there's been all sorts of other things. I've got some DOS games, I've got some Atari games, got a bunch of Zelda. Yeah, feel free to check it out if you're interested. And yeah, if you want to see the end of episode 1 of King, come back next week. And the plan is to play through the whole series. And however long that takes, I'm guessing it'll be about 2 episodes per game at the rate things are going. But I think the later games might be a bit longer. Plus, I'm not as familiar with them. Like, it's been a while since I played Keen 1, but I did play Keen 1 a lot back in the day when it was shareware and the only episode I had. In any case, enjoy your weekend, keep safe, keep hydrated, and